I'm really excited about the book because I've been talking about it for a year and 3 months on the podcast, but now I have a book that can expand on that even more. And so I'm hoping people will find an opportunity to find the book and really look at the whole idea of authenticity, living a more authentic life. Because the purpose of the podcast when I first started it is the same. It is to really help you become more authentic in your life, live a more authentic life, as the title suggests. And the information that I've been giving you on the podcast is designed to help you really uh, find a way to get there. What are the ways that you can live more authentically? How do you develop that in your life? And I'm excited about sharing that because I was able to do a lot of that, and I'm now living the life that I've always wanted to live, and I just want to share that with the joy of all that with others, and let other people know that this is really. And I didn't know this early on in my life, but later on I found out that, according to Carl Jung, being authentic is our birthright. That we're supposed to be authentic, and that we're supposed to live our lives that way. And so it really is an affirmation of who we are as human beings, and yet so few of us take advantage of this opportunity. And yet in this country, we live with so much more freedom than many places. We should be able to make this happen for us more often than probably in any other country in the world. But we still have problems with living what is out of what I call the false self. And the false self is really part of what we learn growing up, that actually early on we begin to see that being authentic is not easy, that people don't respond to you the way that you hope they would if you are authentic. So I'm really looking at how to help people become more aware of the false self that's showing up, and how that false self is maybe dominating their lives and helping them make poor decisions in some cases about the way that they live their lives. So I'm going to talk a lot about that, and this month I'm going to be focusing on the book almost exclusively. Talk about why I wrote the book, what it's about, and then I'll talk about how to increase your psychological intelligence through using the book and reading the book. And then I'll give a couple of examples in other episodes of activities that are in the book that will help people get an idea about what it means to be authentic, and how to live a more authentic life, and how to raise your psychological intelligence to do so. And the two most important skills that people need, and the book will help you learn those, is self-reflection and self-correction. That basically you are trying to uh, figure out why you do what you do, and why you say what you say, and why you feel what you feel. But many people have a hard time with that. They don't actually know why they feel what they feel, or what they say, or what they do. They don't know why they do that. And that's where the whole idea of psychological intelligence comes in. Because once you're psychologically intelligent, then you have a better opportunity to reflect on why you do what you do, and why you say what you do, and why you feel what you feel. So the book is designed, as this podcast is, designed to give you tools to help you uh, become that person that can live authentically and enjoy life at a deeper level. So that's what the whole thing is about. And it's available now at Barnes and Noble Press. You can go to their website. You can actually probably call one of their brick and mortar stores and order it. And it is available both in as an ebook, as an electronic digital copy, and as a paperback that you can hold in your hand. So Either one of those could be purchased through the Barnes and Noble Press website, or calling or visiting a Barnes and Noble store. In addition to that, it's on my website, and there's a link on the website to the Barnes and Noble platform where the book's for sale. So I'm hoping some of you take advantage of that. And as I talk about the book, I think you might get an idea about why this book might be important to you, and because it'll give you the tools that you need to live a more authentic life. So, Ben, do you have anything to add about that?
I'm really excited to read the book myself. I'm gonna grab a copy tonight, and my question is, just the first thing that pops into my head is, what is a PsyQ? Can you give me the definition of PsyQ?
Absolutely, yes. Psychological intelligence is that Daniel Goleman wrote a book called Emotional Intelligence, which I think was a very good first step in terms of helping understand how to really understand and maybe uh, regulate their own emotions. But it didn't go far enough. And so psychological intelligence takes you further than that. It's not just what you feel, but it's what you do and what you say that's important. And and being able to know why you do those things, why you say those things, as well as why you feel. So it's a way of understanding your own psychological process, because unfortunately, there's nowhere you would have learned that. I mean, the only way you learned it informally is by watching other people, and if you watch some people who had a high psychological intelligence, then you probably picked up some of it that way. But other than that, there are no classes in school on psychological intelligence. There's no places where you would get that. So this is the first book out that really reflects and focuses on that kind of intelligence. And I think that basically our democracy depends on it, because we depend on people who are able to be authentic and to operate out of their own kind of belief system, their own attitudes, their values, and make choices in democracy and vote for people that reflect mostly their own kind of internal understanding of who they are. Now, if they don't really have a good understanding of who they are, then they likely will end up following some other leader that maybe even doesn't represent who they most value. But if they don't really understand their own psychological processes, they will make poor choices in that realm as well. And so, democracy to flourish really requires people with a higher level of psychological intelligence to make better decisions about their life and about things that affect them. So, that's the way I've been looking at it. Does that make any sense, Ben?
Absolutely. The more the more psychological intelligence that we have, I think without it, it's really hard to communicate with other people, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of division.
Yeah, I mean, do you know why you do what you do and why you think or you feel things?
I have some ideas, but I mean, I doubt that they're probably correct.
Well, most people don't know. And that's what I'm really going after. And then, in addition to that, people are their behavior is affected by their beliefs. I mean, everything you do and say and feel is affected by some kind of belief that you develop. Now, many of these are core beliefs that you developed at before the age of 10. And if you don't change them, by the time you're 40, you're still using 10-year-old beliefs to run your life. And that doesn't usually work as well. So I am always in the book. I talk a lot about, and I'll have one episode in this month about how do you look at your beliefs and how do you change them? Because if you find that certain beliefs are not really providing the kind of life that you wanted, you can change them. There's nothing saying you can't change it. We just got to know how, and that requires some psychological intelligence. And I'll show you how in one of the episodes coming up this month. So basically, when I work with people, I try to find out what in their life isn't working right now. What kinds of things, situations do they find themselves in that aren't working? And then I provide uh, tools for helping them understand why they're not working. And then I look beyond that to look at where that whatever dysfunctional belief is that might be keep causing them to behave in certain ways that aren't working for them. And then we change those beliefs. So that's one of the big things that's in the book. And it's also a big part of my therapy with my clients.